Hey yo, mic check. It's your boy Dre La Soul here with some more crypto wisdom, crypto news, and crypto discussions for your head top. So today we're going to talk about the Ethereum ETF. I'm saying it's approved already because I think it's going to get approved, but I might be overzealous, might be over optimistic. But today we're going to be talking about why I have strong conviction in the Ethereum ETF and it being the next rally. Because it is, I'm betting very heavily on Ethereum for the next 4 months. So the crypto hype is cooking up, and more importantly, Ethereum hype is cooking up. And this could last until about May if we play the same buy the rumor, sell the news type of activity or actions with the news around Ethereum. So let's talk about the expected deadline for the Ethereum ETF approval this year. We already know and we already saw what happened when we got the Bitcoin approval and when we got that deadline. As long as there's news for a deadline, the price will trend upward until the eventual deadline takes place and until we get that approval, right? And then after that, it will cool down. That's exactly what Bitcoin did. Now, if you didn't know, TradFi giants, and when I say TradFi, I mean traditional finance. So TradFi giants love Ethereum, not just Bitcoin. BlackRock themselves has already filed an Ethereum Spot ETF application back in November. When it comes to ETFs, BlackRock is the number one. Like, they don't miss. So we need to keep our eyes on this because they have the highest approval rate out of any firm in the U.S., right? As the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's ETF approval rate is 99.8%, with 576 approvals and only one rejection ever. So that alone is a strong indicator that the Ethereum ETF is next up. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, has also been on TV expressing his enthusiasm around a spot Ethereum ETF during his interview on CNBC. He was there to speak about the Bitcoin ETF, but he also spoke about an Ethereum ETF that could be possibly upcoming. And of course, he had minimal conversation about that. He had to not necessarily speak in code, but he couldn't reveal too much because, of course, it's not improved. You know, don't want them to postpone it or decline the ETF application for any reason. So until then, there's going to be rumors coming out, but we will see. So buy the rumor, sell the news. Now, in a nutshell, Larry Fink's view on Ethereum is meaningful, right? For TradFi and the tokenization of securities and how stocks and other traditional instruments should be trading as tokens on chain in order to be transparent and also to combat fraud. This is what he believes. This is his viewpoint. All right, now let's talk about Grayscale. So if you didn't know, they beat the SEC in a lawsuit to convert their already existing Futures Bitcoin ETF, or Futures ETF, not the Spot ETF. They wanted to convert it to a Spot ETF, and they won that case. So why is that important? So since we already have futures ETFs for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, if the Bitcoin one was able to be converted, then there's high chances that the Ethereum futures ETF can be converted for Grayscale as well. So they could definitely be one that has a high approval rate as well next to BlackRock, right? We already have that legal precedent because they went to court and Grayscale could simply bring that up. So part of the reason why we can determine a approval or an expected approval date for the ETF is the fact that the SEC is not going to favor one company's ETF over the other ETF. For instance, with the Bitcoin ETF, there was multiple submitted. We have 11 institutions, right? But not all of them had the same deadline. But because a couple of them was approved for that deadline, they were going to approve all of them because they don't want anyone to be favored. They don't want anyone to have a head start and for it to just be a fair fight. So if they approve an Ethereum ETF for BlackRock or the one for Grayscale, then we could potentially get it for all the rest of them, right? So That's the idea behind that. So yeah, chances are all of them will get approved at the same time. So the official deadline date could be May 23rd of 2024. Now, 3 of the 7 firms that submitted an application for the Ethereum ETF are TradFi giants. So we got BlackRock, we got Fidelity, and we got Invesco. They are the giants of TradFi. 5 traditional finance, and the other firms that have submitted an application are more so like Web3 based firms. So they invest in like new up and coming Web3 technology. So I think chances are high, definitely with BlackRock being up there. So all those things are positive, but there's also some negatives. So one is that the approval rate is not as high as the Bitcoin ETF approval rate. So the Bitcoin ETF approval rate was like 90%. We had a 90% chance. All the analysts and traditional finance analysts were saying, yo, it's going to get approved more than likely, 90% chance. And as we got closer to January, it kind of went up to like 95%, right? And then at one point it was like, yo, it's 99% approved. We get the fake tweet. That's how we knew we got it approved. Now, on the other hand, Ethereum has a 70% approval rate because they are really not considered an official commodity. They, in some cases, people look at it as a security, and the SEC hasn't come out yet to say, yo, Ethereum is not a security, it's a commodity. So that's some of what could cause this to not pan out the way we want it to pan out. There's been some back and forth with this, especially since Ethereum moved from proof of work to proof of stake. So we'll see. But I still believe that we'll get approval for this, just based on the fact that BlackRock submitted one and we have an existing futures ETF. So why not? Now, we also have to keep in mind that the SEC does have the power to delay ETFs, especially, the fact that we have Gary Gensler, who has never officially came out and said Ethereum is a security, and just seems like he has a bone to pick with the whole crypto space. So, of course, if they push it back, Grayscale can then pop up and say, yo, remember that court case? And then, things might be all fine and dandy, but that might just delay it. Not to say that it won't happen. It might not be May 23rd like we expect, but I think it would be May 23rd. It's a very, very high possible chance. And then it will just play out perfect because the Bitcoin halving is in April. That would just be perfect. But this could be another buy the rumor, sell the news. So just prepare your bags and get ready for what's to happen. A big way to benefit from this is the coins that are within the Ethereum ecosystem. So if we follow the narrative, if the narrative is going to Ethereum, then we should be looking at the big players in the Ethereum ecosystem. Some on my radar, this is not financial advice. We got Arbitrum, we got Lido, we got Metis, we got Optimism. There's a lot. So tap in, do your own research. And it's your boy Dre La Soul, over and out.